Do you know what could bring down an impenetrable city without breaking its walls? Is it a secret weapon or a supernatural force? No, it's one trick, a trick that changed the course of history. This isn't just a story. This is the story of the Trojan Horse, the trick that ended a war that lasted 10 years. Do you know how it happened? And how one plan brought down the mightiest city of its time? Get ready to hear the full story. The beginning of the war. In ancient times, the city of Troy was considered one of the greatest cities in the world. Its high walls and fortified towers made it seem invincible. But everything changed when Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world and the wife of the king of Sparta, fell in love with the Trojan prince Paris. Paris abducted Helen and fled with her to Troy, igniting the wrath of the Greeks. King Agamemnon, leader of the Greeks, decided to avenge this insult. He gathered a massive army from across Greece, including heroes like Achilles and Odysseus, and laid siege to Troy. But the high walls protected the city, and the Greeks couldn't breach them. The long siege. The siege lasted for 10 long years. During this time, fierce battles raged outside Troy's walls. Achilles, the legendary Greek hero, killed Hector, the prince of Troy, in an epic duel. But even after this loss, Troy remained standing. The Greeks were also suffering. Disease and hunger began to take their toll on the army. Achilles himself was killed by an arrow to his heel, his only weakness. But the Greeks didn't give up. They knew they needed a clever plan to end the war. The Great Trick. Here came the revolutionary idea from Odysseus, one of the smartest Greek leaders. He proposed building a giant wooden horse, large enough to hide a group of soldiers inside. Then, they pretended to retreat, leaving the horse as a gift for the Trojans. The Trojans, believing the war was over, celebrated their victory. But Cassandra, the daughter of Troy's king, warned them that the horse might be a trick. No one believed her. They brought the horse into the city and began their celebrations. The fall of Troy. At midnight, while everyone was asleep, the Greek soldiers emerged from the horse and opened the city gates. The Greek army, waiting outside the walls, stormed Troy and destroyed it. The city that had held out for 10 years fell in a single night because of one trick. The fall of Troy was a lesson in how intelligence can be stronger than brute force. This story wasn't just a battle. It was a lesson in strategy and cunning. Did you know that the story of the Trojan horse became a symbol of clever tricks in history? Share in the comments. What do you think is the greatest military trick in history? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories that rewrite history.